have come from 109 countries to meet in London on the 10th anniversary of the International Conference of Population and Development. All of us are working to realize the main objective of Cairo: universal access to sexual and reproductive health and rights for all by 2015.
All of us came to London this week with a vision: health and hope, rights and responsibilities.
Countdown 2015 and the Global Roundtable is a very important effort designed to ensure that the agenda that was established for sexual and reproductive health in Cairo in 1994 becomes a reality.
The world did something in 94, and this something is still stirring up people's minds.
179 countries signed that amazing document.
The goals of the Cairo Program of Action are realistic and attainable. We see what to do and how urgent it is that we do it. Sexual and reproductive health cannot exist in the absence of livelihood and property rights.
Let's just face reality. I mean, when you go to the everyday life and you see the share of paid and non-paid work done by whom? I mean, the non-paid work mostly is done by women. And as long as we don't change this, there is no gender equality.
Human rights, public health, and sustainable economic development in harmony with the natural environment can and must reinforce each other.
We won't be able to reduce poverty. We will not be able to provide universal primary education. We will not significantly reduce infant mortality or solve the HIV/AIDS crisis unless we accomplish the goals of the ICPD.
Nothing is as difficult to comprehend in the gender arena as the continuing high maternal mortality rates of developing country women and the excessive politicization of abortion.
We want a world where women and girls do not die in childbirth and pregnancy, and where they have access to safe and legal abortion.
A straightforward public health problem with a known solution has been allowed to become the killing field for women in the developing countries, particularly Africa.
No woman should anywhere have to face death or disability for want of a safe abortion. Is there anybody who would disagree with the right of a woman not to die in pregnancy? Anybody? No.
The supply of condoms in resource-poor countries, currently at some 6 billion a year, is at least 50% short of need, and demand is growing. We heard this morning that in sub-Saharan Africa, where the AIDS epidemic is at its worst, the average man has access to 3 condoms a year. You don't have to be a mathematician to know that the result of that equation is all too often death.
We are here as young people because it is our right to be here. We call upon states to acknowledge our right to health, to choice, and to active citizenship. We call upon you to accept our offer of partnership and to no longer consider us as part of the problem, but instead as part of the solution. Thank you all.
I think it was an amazing experience to realize how much young people are mobilizing, actually.
Every year, a girl stays in school, she is less likely to be a teenage mom or to live in poverty.
The requirements, the commitment, the political will to support gender equality is still weak.
Men are really holding on to the old concepts of what they know, they've been familiar with, the old concepts of society, but that's changing. I think that it should be a mutual partnership between men and women in achieving the agenda.
We have worked so hard on ourselves, we've worked so hard on women to be able to change. And they have changed, they've been empowered, as she says, and we're always there fighting. But gender is also men, and I don't think we have worked enough on men. Not when we talk about men, we talk about male responsibility in the sense that they come and support us. But what do they profit by the change in women's life and the change in the empowerment of women?
We have seen women's participation in all spheres of life increase, but we have also seen increasing violence and sexual oppression against them.
A 4-year-old girl named Winifred was brought into my office a victim of rape. A 15-year-old girl, Esther, a high school student, was burnt with acid for refusing to be a second wife. A 35-year-old woman, Mary, was murdered by the husband for refusing sexual intercourse with him. Babies and girls are still being mutilated.
One of the things that I have learned as a feminist, I don't want anything, culture, religion, or anything else, to be used or to stand in the way of my own affirmation of myself as a full, independent human being.
This is the human rights issue worldwide.
I am a member of the international community of women living with HIV and AIDS, and I work in the Andean region. When I was 18, I was raped by 2 strangers while going home after university. By that time, I didn't tell anyone because I was so scared and because there are no counseling services for rape survivors in my country.
I was tested positive in 1993 and ICPD came in 1994. But I don't think it was until actually this conference where we actually are trying to look at how HIV/AIDS and sexual reproductive health services can be linked, because there are so many linkages.
If we don't get it right on the ICPD, we won't get it right on fighting AIDS.
Between 1998 and 2003, we had a situation where the real death rate increased by 40%. But among women aged 15 to 49, that death rate, the real increase, was more than 120%.
Ten years still remain. We dedicate ourselves once more to the vision of Cairo.
We women are in this struggle for the long haul. We are strengthened and renewed by the initiatives of young people.
We must strengthen our shared determination to finish what we have started so that in another 10 years, no one will be denied their reproductive rights.
The promise of Cairo has been made. There is no going back. You have reaffirmed your collective commitment to realizing that glorious dream that was born in Cairo and that will become a reality in this generation.
And it's your passion, your commitment, your energy, your determination that will take us forward between now and 2015. Thank you very much indeed.